Hello everyone, this is Ellie of Herbcraft by Ellie Apothecary. It is 6:44 p.m. here on the mountain, Pacific Standard Time. How are y'all doing? I may or may not put a timestamp in the description box where you can jump ahead. Welcome to the reading. I am currently shuffling the Black Moon Astrology card deck, and the first card to come flying out was card 11 for Pluto Transformation. I'm going to work with some oracle cards. I'm going to channel. I'm going to use my astrological wisdom, psychic mediumship, and some tarot for this reading. Now I just pulled the air element, 39, communicating, and 50, Saturn return age. This is an intentional black screen reading. Cancer, card 16, I feel. ASMR experience. When I can, I use descriptive audio to make it a more pleasant experience. Libra, card 19, I balance. We are coming into Libra season in 2 days. This is a timeless message, but I'm going to mention the current astrology to inform the energy we're working with, which imprints into anything you create at the time of whatever's going on with the planets. So the moon is in Virgo. The solar eclipse new moon in Virgo is tomorrow. So I thought this reading is going to be something to think about, something new you want to create, having to do with Virgo principles like work, service, health, paying attention to fine details. But at the same time, we have to keep in mind that the south node of the collective right now is in Virgo. And that means that's everything we are leaving behind. Just pulled card 25, first house, the body. So it's a bit of a paradox because we are looking at mercurial themes, Mercury being the ruler of Gemini and Virgo. We're thinking about energies that are going to be impacted for the next 6 months because new moons bring things in. It's a great time to set intentions, to start a new skill, anything new, really. And right now there are some retrogrades because we always have a lot of the outer planets retrograding around this time. It happens every year, just like Mercury retrograde, most planets every year. Anyways, so we're looking at energies we're leaving behind with the North Node in Pisces, Virgo's polar opposite. We just came out of the full moon lunar eclipse in Pisces 2 weeks ago. And that energy I talked about, and that's actually in one of the last readings, which is always in the description box with a lot more stuff to check out. I talked about how we're moving forward with the Pisces energy. Yeah, I just pulled the South Node card. Card 42, Life's Debts. That's just confirming what I was talking about with the South Node in Virgo. So we're all learning how to believe, right? Going forward in Pisces energy. And again, we've discussed before, that doesn't mean Virgoan energies don't believe. It just means that they hone in very closely into the 3D aspects of almost, I guess you could say it is kind of a seeing as believing mindset. And we actually want to believe and then we see. That's how you manifest, right? So this could be a conclusion of that chapter, because with the full moon in Virgo, which will happen in 6 months, during Pisces season, we will have the conclusion, like the biggest impact of anything we needed to leave behind individually or as a collective with Virgo principles will be culminating at that time. So I guess you could say that this is a good time to give it one last concerted effort on your day-to-day habits, your routines, your health, your how you serve, how you take care of yourself. And also purification is huge around this time, like thinking of how you keep your intentions pure, your energy pure, your heart pure. What does that mean to you? It's a great time to study herbal medicine if you have a fascination with natural remedies, or receive care. I'm not a doctor, so check out the disclaimer in the description box if you need. I'm just saying these are things that Virgo rules, right? So perhaps we're looking at ways that we want to leave that behind, right? All the things in the past that didn't serve us, that got in the way of having healthy, balanced systems, especially as we come into Libra season in the next couple days, which rules balance, right? And I believe, yes, we pulled that oracle card, Libra, I balance. Okay, so I wasn't initially going to work with these cards, but Spirit really wanted me to intro this video, so to speak. I also have my notebook with channeled messages. I might bring that up at the end of the reading. Keep in mind that I do shorter form versions of these long form reads, and I usually have those released within a week of this original content dropping. Speaking of Libra season and the fall equinox, which is on the 22nd, we also have Mabon for my pagan family. I'm a non-denominational channel, so if you're not pagan, don't, you're welcome. Don't worry about whatever I have to say about the holiday. Just, celebrate fall, or if you're in the other side of the world, celebrate spring. But for the States, we're celebrating this liminal space, right? Fall is, it's a dying time. It's a releasing time. It's a time of last preparation with our harvests and getting ready for the winter, right? And for those of us that are lucky enough to enjoy the beautiful trees, it's a warm, magical time of year. It can be. So it's time to honor that which we are leaving behind. And since this is a new moon in Virgo with the solar eclipse, so it's super impactful, we're going to look at having a huge impact and change on our life over the next 6 months. Okay? Now, for those of you that are catching this in a timeless message, you can apply it to any 6 months of your life, or I actually brought my timing cards out today to use them in a unique way. I thought I would draw 3 timing cards to kind of think about, for those of you that are here and the eclipse energies don't really apply to you, what are 3 possible timelines that you could be on to bring this into fruition, we'll say, to completion? It could be sooner than 6 months, it could be longer. So we're going to choose 1, 2, 3. Pick a number, 1, 2, or 3. Whatever you are most intuitively led to, that's going to be the number that you want to pick. And that's most likely what you're going to be closest to in accomplishing this. So it's just kind of like a fun little psychic game, I guess you could say. And if you're kind of tapped in, you can kind of think of a timeline and see if your card gets pulled. Alright, are you ready? So card number 1. In July. Alright, so a little less than a year for card number 1. Let's see what card number 2. In November. Wow, that's an ambitious group. Alright, so let's see what card number 3 is. Let's see. In the winter. All right. So a little bit after. So some of you are looking at, 2 months to 3, 4, or 5. So I'd say it's safe to say like a lot of you can be accomplishing this within 3 months. And then for some of you in the spring, I just pulled a bonus card. All right, so we're done with the timing cards there. I always take a picture of all these cards and make a nice blog for it on the community page. So if you'd like to see the different cards that are the primary energies in this reading, feel free to check that out. Please like and subscribe. Let me just see what else we can get from these oracle cards, and then I think I'm going to jump into the tarot. We'll have a little tarot quest. All right. Saturn return. For those of you that don't know, a Saturn return typically happens about every 30 years, give or take a few. 10th house is public recognition, career, what you're known for. It's also your house of mastery. It's ruled by Saturn actually. So we have Saturn return and the 10th house here. And then the world, which it does represent the world card in the tarot, which is usually the end of a huge cycle. Just drinking some tea. Excuse me. So, Cancer, I feel we've also got the first house, the body. Now, Jupiter is in Cancer until summer next year. It's usually about a 1-year transit whenever Jupiter switches signs. And Jupiter, the modern day, is the ruler of Sagittarius, but it also used to rule Pisces. Pisces' modern day ruler is Neptune. And we were talking about Pisces with the North Node, of course. Definitely check out the Divine With Me playlist for other readings from the last few months to kind of get a feel for that vibe. I've talked about it in all my readings. It's something I like to dive into. So the first house is also known as your ascendant or your rising sign. It's typically how people see you. It kind of colors your personality, or at least how people perceive your personality. It can even represent to a certain degree your physical features, and that can depend also on your Venus placements and other factors in your chart. But the thing about the first house is it sets the tone for the rest of your chart. So, for example, I have a Cancer rising. So then my first house is ruled by Cancer. And we're talking about Cancer, I feel, Jupiter, expansion. So I feel we are talking about expanding how we are seen, how that makes us feel, how we can establish balance in our relationships coming into Libra season, or again, any time of the year that you're listening to this. What do you actually want to be known for here with the 10th house? And what are some limiting beliefs or karmic cycles that you can leave behind, especially having to do with the South Node in Virgo? How can you communicate that to others? If you can figure this out, you can find huge transformation in your life, positive change, transmute the energy. So that's everything I got from these 8 oracle cards. All right. That tea did the trick on my throat chakra. Anybody else like to drink tea or coffee or whatever? Feel free to drop an emoji in the comments to show your support. Okay. I'm being called to the Cosmic Tarot. Now, for those of you that don't know, I do what's called tarot quests. And they are a long journey with the collective. I touch on multiple groups in the collective, but there tends to be themes like anything else of the reading. I don't know what's going to come out, so it's an adventure. And again, remember that not everything is going to resonate with you, but if it does, definitely pay closer attention and leave the rest behind, essentially, right? All right, so we pulled the Nine of Swords sideways and the Prince of Wands upright. I do read out every card so you don't miss anything. Five of Wands. The Eight of Cups. Someone's having a bad day. That sucks. Not everybody. That's not how we're going to start the reading. It just seems that's what this energy is. Someone felt under attack. They are a warrior on a journey. They've been fighting really hard and they had to walk away from something. Two of Wands. They're at a crossroads. This could be you or somebody you know. If I see any signs or synchronicities, I will list them out to you. The Chariot. Well, they're victorious and heading somewhere fast towards the Queen of Cups, apparently. Hello, Queen of Cups. What is this about, Spirit? Ace of Cups. Wheel of Fortune. Justice. Eight of Pentacles. Judgment. The Moon. And the World. Are you kidding me? And then the Four of Wands at the bottom of the deck. Wow. Okay, well, this is a big deal. This is a very big deal. That's some major arcana. Wow. Okay. In the pre-shuffle, this deck that I'm working with now, because I always cleanse and shuffle my decks before I get started, the Ace of Cups, then the Ace of Pentacles, and then the Wheel of Fortune came out. So if you're from that last reading, I feel like that was a small message to you that it's definitely coming towards you. It is your karmic justice. It's your time to receive this double blessing from Spirit. So if you haven't checked out the last reading, which happened to be a very beautiful higher vibrational divine union reading, I will put in the description box for you to check out. But this is, wow, this is a big deal. Somebody's not happy about it though. Five of Cups. Well, whatever, not everybody can be happy. You know, if you're living your life for others, you yourself are never going to be happy. So, Eight of Swords, yeah. There are some people who are up in their head about this. Not the people involved. This, we'll say Prince of Wands and Queen of Cups. But let's just go over the cards here. Spirit really wants to spit the cards out, but I'm going to process this with y'all, all right? So we have that this knight, the Prince of Wands, was under heavy fire. And if you look at this card, and I'll describe it for you, it's a guy like crouching in terror and there's 9 swords coming at him. And he looks like he's in a war zone and there's a snake wrapped around one of the swords. So it's like someone is intentionally throwing daggers. This could also represent heavy spiritual warfare for those of you that are at a more higher frequency, know what I'm talking about. or if you're pagan. So yeah, Prince of Wands is the victor, is the champion on his way to kinghood. Can also just represent a different aspect of a strong character. Doesn't mean they're necessarily this fiery warrior, but maybe it's a certain aspect of their personality. I'll look into that later, possibly, if it comes up. Yeah, the Five of Wands is all about competition and fighting, right? In this particular depiction, it's two men. And again, apply the gender however you want. Doesn't matter in tarot. And then the Eight of Cups, walking away after a battle, but victoriously and towards this Queen of Cups. So towards this divine feminine energy. And this is something either they manifested, this Queen of Cups manifested, or it was a decision that had to be made. But it seems that this Prince of Wands has made that decision. They accept that this is a new karmic cycle with the Wheel of Fortune. This is also really good luck. It's also, yeah, I'm picking up karmic justice with the Justice card after the Ace of Cups. And the Ace of Cups is a divine blessing of love, or creativity, or self-love, or love with spirit. Eight of Pentacles is about putting in the work on this new cycle, but it's murky, it's hidden with the Moon card, and then of course the World before that, and then we have Judgment. So someone's been enlightened to this. They are awakened to what this represents. And then we had over here the Five of Cups and the Eight of Swords, and that feels like outside energies. Seems like there is a trajectory here. There is a quest starting for someone. And again, if this rings any bells for you, check out the last reading and it might form a more complete story for you. Who do we want to know about? Let's see. What does the collective want to know about? Which character here are we speaking on today? Feeling Prince of Wands. Queen of Swords over the Prince of Wands. What else about this Queen of Swords? Six of Swords. There's some kind of common understanding, some kind of clear communication, some kind of certainty here that's grown from having to learn to balance. The Six of Swords depiction is a man standing in an acrobatic pose with the swords around him, just like looking like he's balancing this beautiful pose. It's very much harmonious. We were talking about Libra season, and we got this over the Justice card. Something about this energy wanting to bring some kind of justice and balance, fairness, equality, but be straight and to the point about it. Slightly guarded, but there's something about it that needs to be carefully communicated. What is that about, Spirit? The Hierophant. Wow. This is very powerful energy, or a very profound event that is happening in some of the collective's lives. So the Hierophant is the highest authority. It can represent hierarchy, it can represent God, it can represent some kind of divine power. I just heard, for some of you, this person feels like a messenger of God. I don't know what that means for everyone. It's just what my clairaudience picked up. Yeah, Six of Pentacles, 6 here. That's double balance. That's mirroring balance. This is having something to offer, some kind of divine blessing. Could be this Ace of Cups over here. This could be about bringing harmony and balance to this Queen of Cups life. And then the Four Cups sideways just fell out over the Five of Cups and Eight of Swords. Tell me more about this over here. The Star. Wow. Okay, so this is energy of the past. It isn't separate people with the Five of Cups, Eight of Swords, and then the Four of Cups, because Four of Cups can be about not seeing your blessing. In the last reading we were talking about that, and how we've talked about it in a few of the other Divine Union readings from this year. But sideways it tells me that this person is aware of their blessings now, and they also know that it's something that made them very unhappy and get stuck in their head. But the Star card is not only illumination, it's seeing things for how it is and healing something. Perhaps that's something that this energy wants to bring this Queen of Cups, is some form of healing, or bring a message about their healing. I can't tell you if this is romantic or a friend or a family member. It's going to apply to different people in different ways. So we'll just see where the energy takes us, okay? Tell me more about heading to the Queen of Cups with the Chariot and this decision, Spirit. The Five of Swords. Interesting. Some kind of sense of defeat here, mental anguish. Wow, with the Devil. What is this about, Spirit? Who is this energy about? The Sun. Well, we have the Sun right next to the Moon. That usually indicates divine partnership, divine union, the Sun and the Moon, higher love. Some kind of mental battle that has been illuminated about some kind of toxic energy from the past. What does this have to do with the Chariot and the Queen of Cups? The Six of Cups. Wow. Okay. Reuniting with somebody who is either from your past, a past life soulmate, or someone who you have a deep potential bond with that feels like family, where perhaps your inner children have commonality with each other. And so whoever this Knight of Wands energy is they feel like this Queen of Cups is their divine counterpart, is their past life soulmate. And what I'm reading here, take it how it resonates with the Devil card. A lot of people believe in the devil, right, with Christian faith, but I look at it as a mindset. It's also with the tarot, it represents toxic behaviors, karmic people, obsessions, delusions, being overconsumed by the 3D material world, being bound to something. And over here next to the Five of Swords, this is usually sabotage, mental sabotage. It can represent toxic people who possibly poisons your mind with thoughts that are not for your highest and greatest good. So if that has to do with this person, it's possible that someone that they know that is not good for them got them all caught up in their head about this. And now they want to speed in and have a conversation, but be very clear about it, enlighten something, and put in the effort for equal give and take, it seems. Well, that seems like a love message to me, but again, it could be anything in any way. So what can you tell us about this fork in the road? Because I feel like that's relevant with the Two of Wands. The Princess of Wands. Tell me more about this Princess of Wands, please. The Ace of Wands. Wow. Okay. 1 second. Ace to the 2 with the Princess. We're working with a lot of fire here, a lot of speed, a lot of passion, a lot of new inspiration. This is also a divine blessing. We now have Ace of Cups and Ace of Wands. A divine, passionate, new beginning. With a beginner's mind on a new freaking adventure. I feel as if that's how this person views this Queen of Cups. Tell us more about this, Spirit. The Ace of Swords. This is the truth. And now we have 3 out of 4 aces. I want to say about 2 months ago we got all 4 aces in a reading. Might have been 6 weeks. Check out the playlist. I think it's in one of the shorter form titles. All 4 aces on the table. That could be connected to this. The Ace of Swords represents clarity and epiphany. Like, this person to the Knight of Wands is their hot new beginning. Is also, like, it could also be considered wish fulfillment with the Star and the Wheel of Fortune and the Ace of Cups over here. And then we have Justice. Like, this person is completely enlightened and magnetized. And there's also a feeling of being really excited about this. What can you tell us about this Queen of Cups, Spirit? Strength. Wow. Okay, very powerful cards. Strength card. That's the Queen of Cups. This Queen of Cups is strong AF. This Queen of Cups is not just a sweet, nurturing, kind, receptive, loving, creative person with a whole lot of love. They're also very strong. They're very courageous. Tell us more about this strength, Spirit. The Two of Cups. Wow. That's unique. Two of Cups with the strength. Two of Cups is divine union. We definitely have that on the table now, for sure. Sun, Moon, Two of Cups. Had the 4 Wands at the bottom and the hidden energy. That's some kind of celebration, engagement, commitment, union. It's also like building a foundation. This person's they're a strong choice for love, I just heard. A strong choice for love for somebody. Tell us more about this strength in Two of Cups. The Hanged Man. It's a different kind of perspective on who this person is. Well, if this person did have people in their ear talking about this person toxically, it would poison the perspective of this person. It would make you not want to pursue a blessing or not see a blessing because you're up in your head, which we had over here with the other cards. But I want to know what this Hanged Man is about in regards to the Queen of Cups. 7 of Wands. Some kind of defense is going on here. There's a feeling of stuckness here. Perhaps this Queen of Cups has fought for love before. Knows how to have different perspectives and use their strength and courage to overcome and fight battles, protect themselves, pause, meditate, reflect, They know what it takes to nurture a divine connection. And I'm sensing spiritual union for some of you. Holy wow, I just pulled the Emperor card and got chills. That's like the ultimate divine masculine card. However, we pulled it over the Queen of Cups. Now that could represent... I kind of feel like this Queen of Cups might be the Emperor. What does that mean? Again, apply the gender how it fits. Well, if this divine feminine is a true divine being, they're also going to be an emperor, because you have to be in balance with your divine feminine and masculine in order to be a full divine being. We're talking about spiritual concepts now, so what can you tell us about the Emperor, Spirit? The Lovers? Are you kidding me? Wow! We have more major arcana on this table than not. And I got full chills. Wow. That's the Divine Union card. I mean, hello. Yeah, that's unity with self. This Divine Feminine is also in balance with their Divine Masculine. They are also somebody who is a boss, is a leader, is in charge of their own domain, delegates to others, has a certain status and respect about their character in life. So they also know how to go after what they want and defend what is theirs. With the Seven of Wands here and the Hangman, this is somebody who can be very strategic and fight their own battles, I'm hearing. Okay, so what does this have to do with the Knight of Wands? The Nine of Wands. Okay, so they too know what it's like to fight their own battles, to be a bit of a wounded warrior, to have to be strong and overcome these hurdles. Interesting. What else about this Nine of Wands and Emperor? The Princess of Swords. One more card, please. The Three of Swords. I'm getting that this this Knight of Wands has been watching this person get their heart broken, I just heard, with the Three of Swords. And the Princess of Swords is the Page of Swords. It's the card of somebody watching another person, studying them, learning. And if they didn't watch this person go through this, they can see that this person has gone through something they themselves has gone through with the Nine of Wands here. I feel like they can see that between each other's experiences, even with different circumstances, I'm sensing different social groups. Do these people know each other in real life, Spirit? The Princess of Cups. It could be a friend. It could be somebody that could be friends, or someone from the past that you haven't seen in a long time, which could tie into this past life. Soulmate card, Six of Cups again, Princess of Cups. That would make sense. It could be a young lover from a past life. That's very specific. That's not going to be for everyone. It could also be a new love. This could be a new love. This could be somebody who wants to be your friend, and perhaps that's why they want to come in, is to offer a small cup of friendship. And I see have a conversation here. So they want to communicate. They want to offer something. They recognize this person's struggles. They recognize... What else do they recognize, Spirit? The Ace of Pentacles. Alright, well, I mean, wow. 4 aces, all 4 aces. We were just talking about that. It's like I'm psychic or something, you know? Ace of Cups, Ace of Wands, Ace of Swords, Ace of Pentacles. That is complete clarity that, yeah, this is the whole package here. This is everything. This is, the divine couldn't make it much clearer how special this is. Wow. It's also heavily protected. So for all the cross watchers who are trying to screw with these kinds of unions, just remember that divine beings are heavily protected, and most likely anything you try to do, they're not even going to have to deal with. The divine will deal with. So, you know, if I were you, I'd just stop trying to interfere and instead love yourself. Do your own shadow work, because that's how these energies become divine, is they do the work. They go through the trials, they go through the tribulations, they go through the ascension, they overcome the tests, they overcome the sabotage, they overcome the pain, they heal, they transform, they rise. That's what makes a divine being. And there are a lot of people who are going to try to sabotage that. I mean, we see that here with the Five of Swords and the Five of Cups. It's like, oh yeah, we're going to get you all up in your head, and we're going to make you doubt your thoughts and your feelings, and we're going to come up with all these reasons as to why you aren't good enough. Well, you know what? If this other person possibly is a divine being as well, they already know they are enough. And perhaps it's only past energies that reminded them they needed to heal in order to feel worthy enough to come forward with this. I just channeled all that. I don't know where that all came from, but it applies to some or many. Let me know. Drop a comment if you think this is your story. Go ahead and claim this reading. To say, I claim this reading. This is true to my experience. Or if you more identify with divine masculine, share your experience. You know, if you have someone in mind and you feel comfortable sharing, you know, let's engage with the community. Tell me more about this Knight of Wands, Spirit. The Magician. Whew! Yeah, they're definitely a divine masculine. Not only that, this is a spiritual love. This is a spiritual union. This is a higher love. I think in the last reading I might have said that if these readings are connected, which I do feel like they are, kind of feels like I've been on this journey about these particular souls in the collective and these kinds of higher love unions. It's not for everybody, but I feel like I've been speaking on it for a while now. The readings change up and down, you know. It's really the flow of energy, whatever spirit wants us to focus on the most. And, you know, if there's anything to celebrate, it's two people like this who deserve each other. And this Knight of Wands is not just a Knight of Wands. They are a magician. They make things happen. They know they have everything available to their disposal. They're probably a master manifester. It's possible that they manifested this person, this Queen of Cups. The lyrics just said, makes me realize I am alive. So perhaps this person like woke them up back to like the fire, the passion, what really matters in life, what really fills their cup, what inspires their truth, with all four aces on the table. Also remember, the magician commands all four elements. That's freaking powerful, and confirmation that this person worked with the divine. We have the Hierophant over their energy to manifest ultimate blessings in their life. They have a lot to offer this person. It seems like this person, well, I want to know more about this person, this Queen of Cups. They've obviously overcome a lot. They're very strong. They're very nurturing and loving. They also are in balance with the divine masculine of their chart, of their soul, of their life. What else can we tell about this? Seven of Swords. What about the Seven of Swords? The Empress. By the way, I pulled the Seven of Swords over the Three of Swords, and the Empress is the counterpart to the Emperor, is the divine feminine being. What more about the Seven of Swords and the Empress spirit? Six of Wands. Wow. Okay. So this heartbreak that this Queen of Cups / Emperor went through, having to do with a lot of people walking away, ghosting, sabotaging, being sneaky, trying to steal from them, whatever sense you want to take that. It could be energetic, it could be money, it could be so material, it could be time, it could be attention, you know, whatever. It's a card of sneaky, strategic, thieving, non-transparent people, really. And whatever this was, it made this person the Empress, is what I'm getting, especially with the Strength card here. This devastation graduated this person in character, and now they are a truly divine being because of what they have been through in their life. I was just talking about that earlier, and I'm feeling kind of emotional. This is really powerful to be able to transform through this. We got the Six of Wands, which is public recognition. It is the success. It is the victory. And it comes after the Five of Wands. So it's like, okay, this Knight of Wands over here just went through a Five of Wands situation, or they're just coming out of it, and this Queen of Wands has come out of it, or not Queen of Wands, why did I say that? Interesting. Queen of Cups, that's important for some reason. This Queen of Cups, Empress, Emperor, we'll just say this divine femme energy has become victorious. They're like the next step. So it seems like these energies are very close to alignment on their path. Congratulations if you are this divine feminine. If you are, please feel free to share your experience. What else do we need to know about this conversation that seems to be coming towards, or coming together? I get the sense that this Knight of Wands is coming towards this Queen of Cups, which that's natural as far as energy. Again, divine femme, divine masculine, divine other. Place it however feels natural to what your energy signature resonates with. But this this energy here, wow, Spirit just totally wiped my mind on that. That was interesting. There was something there, but I'm not supposed to talk about it. So I don't know what that was about. Maybe it means something to somebody. Oh, okay. For some of you, I just got a very side message for someone in the queer community. I think there may be some concern about people finding this out about their state of sexuality and preferences. That's a very side message. So I knew there was a reason I was bringing up the queer community. I kept picking up that it's possible this is not, if it's not that you're queer, it could be that you are, this is a non-traditional situation in some way. I'm picking up a lot of taboo energy for a small group of you. And I don't know what that means. I don't think it's necessarily that, but, and also, like, no judgment. I'm very inclusive here, and I'm also queer adjacent, as I like to call it. I don't know. It's interesting. I feel like there is something taboo about this I just picked up. Maybe that's something that needs to be talked about. Interesting. Huh. This reading seems almost, it'll sound weird for some of you, but mundane for me, because it's very, like, real people. Usually I'm channeling, like, deep spiritual stuff, and going off into the quantum realm, but this is interesting. This is a nice balance between the mundane and the mystical, which is my shop tagline, from the mundane to the mystical. Explorations of the 3D to the 5D. Okay, so that was a side note for some of you, and if you're still here, thank you so much. King of Cups. Well, there it is, the divine counterpart. This is the divine counterpart to the Queen of Cups. It's a very loving, emotionally intelligent, kind, generous, divine masculine energy. Tell me more about this King of Cups. The Tower. They're a force. And King of Cups does rule Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio also is the sign for the Tower card. They could also be bringing this big change. It's going to be the end of an old foundation and a new way of life. Whatever they have to talk about, whatever they have. Tell us more about this Tower spirit. The Queen of Wands. I knew she was going to come out. I called her earlier. Well, this person is very, very attracted to this Queen of Cups. The Queen of Wands is the most attractive queen, next to, of course, the Empress, who is all queens. And this Queen of Cups seems to be the Queen of Cups, Queen of Wands, and the Empress, and the Emperor. So I can see why there's a tower there. Alright. Well, this is kind of fun. Alright, so what else can you tell us about this Queen of Wands and how this tower is going to impact their life? The Ten of Swords. It's the end of betrayal. This is going to end betrayal. This is going to end some extremely painful cycle in this queen's life. Wow. This is divine justice. And I'm feeling really emotional all of a sudden. This is healing. Whew. Okay. I just got chills on my arms, yet warm sensations at the same time. That can be a sign of the angels. The angels are bringing healing. Tell me more about how this is happening. How is this an end to betrayal? Oh wow, okay. The Prince of Swords, the Knight of Swords. Well, the Knight of Swords is the knight in shining armor, so I, take that how it fits. Some people don't like that narrative, but it's a divine messenger. It's somebody coming in swift with the truth and taking quick action and delivering something here. There could be something that this person has to say that is going to bring justice to this person's life. I guess we could look more into that, but I feel like it's going to be different for every one of you. The Three of Cups. It's something to celebrate. Some kind of beautiful co-creation. For those of you that are highly spiritual beings who are anticipating a divine union like this is about, I'm hearing, co-creation between spirit and the two of you. Wow. And I'm getting chills again. This is extremely high vibrational. I'm going to grab my other deck real quick. Kind of get the energy shifted here. I feel like we're a little bit past definitely the halfway point of this reading, if not going to conclude it in the near future. Wow. Wow. This Knight of Wands / King of Cups, yeah, I can feel the love. I can feel that love. It's a strong, quiet, protective, sweet love. True divine masculine energy. And this Empress Queen deserves this kind of love. That's why it's karmic justice. Wow. Okay. Knight of Cups in reverse. Three of Cups. Six of Swords. What is this about? Knight of Wands. King of Pentacles. Two of Wands. Tower. The Artist. Okay. Interesting. Side message. For some of you, be wary of someone who is going to try to come in with a similar offer. They're going to present themselves as very stable, who can bring a lot of change to your life and would give you a choice. However, this energy, the Artist card here with this deck, with the Luna Editions Ethereal Visions deck, is like, it's like the Magician 2.0. It's somebody who can create their own reality. But this is all falling underneath the Nine of Wands card. So again, with the Wounded Warrior, but in this particular case with the Knight of Cups in reverse, the Knight of Cups can represent love bombing. Okay? It can represent emotional manipulation and false offers of love. Three of Cups can represent celebration, right? Which we had this in the other energy with the King of Cups, the true divine masculine. This is somebody trying to come in and look like a divine masculine, or who is very materialistic and looking to get theirs and looking at you as if you are their safe passage. And this is only going to put you up in your head and cause you a tower moment. Yeah, and then I split the deck here to the Nine of Pentacles and the Page of Cups. It's like they want to offer something small because they see that you are stable, you are living a great life on your own over here, most likely single and independent. I feel like this is for the Queen of Cups. Empress energy, yeah, Five of Wands next to the Death card. This is the end to your piece if you take this offer. And then under that is the Devil. I mean, come on, do not trust this person. Ace of Cups, that is not a divine blessing. And then Ten of Swords, there's your betrayal. And then the freaking Empress, are you kidding me? Wow, Two of Pentacles, they'll keep you juggling. So if anyone else comes in, and then the High Priestess under Death card. You know better. You can see this, especially if you are a divine being. Yeah, so beware that someone is scheming. It's not this divine masculine. It's a totally different energy, probably karmic. And I don't typically read on karmic energies, so that was a message from Spirit. That was a warning. Remember that we can choose our own reality. What does that mean? If you don't want to entertain this, don't. Don't give it another thought. Don't watch any readings on it. Do not give them your energy. Don't let anybody siphon your good energy, especially when you're about to receive this huge blessing. The distractions will keep you off your timeline. Don't pay them any mind. Call your power back. What else do you have to say, Spirit? Thanks for the heads up, but I think that's enough with the karmic. Appreciate it. Wheel of Fortune on the bottom. Karma. Karmic. Karma. Yeah, especially if you are a divine being and you do have higher spiritual protection, chances are that this person will receive a lot of karma if they freaking try it. Seven of Cups. Yeah, illusions, delusions, trying to cast visions and confusions, aka manipulation. Alright, the Hierophant and the Three of Pentacles. Remember what you're working on and what your spiritual path is. Focus on that. Because whatever that is in alignment with this divine counterpart. Okay? I'm going to call our energy back from that. In fact, let's all take a deep breath real quick. And then I'm going to chime my bell to clear the energy. Ready? Deep breath in. And out. Bell, 3, 2, 1. People be trying it, let me tell you. Just shake it off. Do nothing. Of course, if you have an idea of who this person is, don't engage. Yeah, that's, you know, the rest is up to you. Good luck. Do what's best for you. You're going to choose your own timeline regardless of what anyone else says. And if you feel like there is still, I feel like this is a person from your past. If you feel like there's anything else you need to discover down that road, well, then you're not ready for this divine masculine. I don't know what else to tell you. That's not an insult or me being a jerk. That's just the truth. Is if you decide to entertain a karmic energy when you know something like this is coming, because you are the High Priestess as well. We pulled that. You know, you are extremely intuitive. You're also the Queen of Cups. So, like, extremely intuitive and possibly psychic as well. So you've probably already picked up on this energy. And protect yourself, protect your energy, call in your guides, call in your ancestors, and don't engage. But if you decide to, just know that this is a new karmic cycle with the Wheel of Fortune as well. Remember your good fortune. But again, if you feel like there's something you need to work out with this energy one last time, then that is your choice. Just accept that you will be blocking your own blessings or not being grateful for your blessings. And, you know, I mean, look at the big picture. Listen to this reading again. Listen to the last one and you tell me if it's worth it to you. I know what I would say, but I'm not you, okay? What does Spirit have to say about that for you, Divine Feminine? The Knight of Pentacles with the Three of Cups and the Knight of Cups in reverse. Okay. This person, this karmic energy, they've been working on this for a while. They've been wanting to come in with this offer for a while. The Well. Wow. I get the feeling that since I do feel like this is somebody from your past, they watched you go through something, and now that you are this divine energy, they want to celebrate with you and they want to share your blessings with you, which, sure, that sounds lovely if they weren't a karmic, toxic, scheming manipulator who's going to bring betrayal and devastation. So be careful. Also, be careful who you share your blessings with. Remember that those that you associate with energetically also share your energy, and then their energy is shared with you. And then your energy can shift based on those you associate with. So be mindful of who you associate with. And know that if you choose to, well, then that's your choice. Except that you may just keep in mind that just because you are a divine being right now doesn't mean that you always stay one, because we always have free will. We always have the ability to choose, you know, and things in life can test us, and people can be, they can go a different way in life, and you can have it all and you can lose it. I'm not saying that's going to happen to anybody. You obviously know what that's like because you went through a lot to get to where you're at. So remember that. Remember how hard you worked with this Knight of Pentacles. Could be you. You could be diligently working on yourself and building your foundation, and you've been doing this for a while, and you do want to celebrate and you do want to create here with the Well. So don't be distracted by these Knight of Cups in reverse. You could be getting false offers more than once. With being a divine energy, you could be, you should get used to it, really, because you're going to attract in the light with the dark, okay? You're going to attract in people who want to hoard your light, want to squash your light, want to take your light, but there's someone over here who wants to share their light with you. So if you want to create, go with what sets your soul on fire. Go with what makes you happy. Go with what makes you inspired. Not what ruins your peace, creates blockages and obstacles. What's more important to you? Short-term happiness and celebration with somebody from your past that maybe you had some kind of connection with? They seem to think so. Or somebody that you don't know yet about, but you know intuitively is your true match, who's going to sustain and get through these challenges with you because they themselves have. Somebody who's coming in with a dirty love offer like this has not learned their lessons. They're just looking for a free ride. Be careful. And then I pull the Queen of Cups. Be careful, Queen of Cups. Wow, chills. Be careful. You have a big heart, protect it. You can have an open heart and an open mind and still protect yourself. That's when the Queen of Swords would come in. And then we pulled the Artist again. What do you want to create in your reality? Okay, let's pull out of this energy yet again. I think we're done with that message. I think everybody who needed to hear that heard it loud and clear. Though I have to say, I feel like that's just a small group of the divine feminine energy, yeah, that want to go for the Knight of Wands. And we have Knight of Wands on both sides of the table here with the past and this divine masculine, the Devil. Okay, so, you know, if you're still tempted by this person, then it would not be fair to entertain this divine masculine. I mean, ask yourself, if you were in their shoes and you knew of this person, or you knew a love like this existed, how would you feel if they were still going in and out, not making a decision about a karmic from their past that you know is probably deceptive? Doesn't feel very good, does it? And if you're somebody who's thinking, oh yeah, I want this Knight of Wands, I want this excitement. Again, we're not talking about the King of Cups, we're talking about the Knight of Cups in reverse. Knight of Wands character, that's player energy all the way. I'm getting this this Knight of Wands on with the King of Cups energy, the divine masculine is in that energy. We talked about this in another reading recently, and they're fired up and they're ready to take action. What else can you tell us about the divine masculine? We have an understanding here. The Hanged Man. Some of you just gained another perspective, and that's good. Some of you decided to put this energy from the past on hold. Yeah, Four of Swords. Meditate on it. Think on it. By all means, if you If you need to think on it, do. But I'm telling you, if this person who is a true divine feminine, because I feel like that message about the Knight of Wands, some of you, I mean, it's natural to give thought to energies like that every now and again, but for the one that is truly, that this energy truly resonates with the Strength card as well, and everything that energy, that true divine feminine has been through, I doubt they're going to be entertaining this kind of energy. They obviously learned their lesson. And if you don't identify with that, well then, you know, you're still on your process. You're still ascending, and that's okay. That's all right. Seven of Pentacles. You're still learning to invest in yourself. What you want to nurture, what you want to grow. You got to have patience. Some of you don't have patience, and that's why the Knight of Wands energy is more appealing to you, because it's quick and it's right now. But if you want something more sustainable, then you wouldn't give that energy a second thought, and you would work on your patience. How can those energies, the feminine energies that need to work on their patience, want to work on their patience? I can feel a lot of hate coming all of a sudden, and I understand. It's fine. You're allowed to feel your feelings. Eight of Pentacles. Well, do the work, right? Focus on the work. That's also a progression. 7, 8. And we had the 9 of Pentacles on the split earlier. So focus on what you've already invested in, what you're currently working on that is making you stable. This energy doesn't seem very stable, so continuing to put the work in day in and day out is how you establish that patience. It's boring, but you know what? That's the Knight of Pentacles' positive traits, right? Is that they are steady, they are sturdy, they are consistent. The Knight of Wands in this shadow energy, not the divine masculine acting in the Knight of Wands energy, just to be clear, the shadow energy is not stable. It's fun, it's exciting, it's not stable though. Yeah, 10 of Wands, it's a burden. It's a huge burden. It's also like some of you have already carried that burden, possibly that person before, if it's someone from your past that you already know. It's a burden. Queen of Wands. Yeah, you're very, very attractive. You are a baddie. You can manifest your own reality. Let's bring it back up to this divine feminine energy. For those of you that are anticipating or know that this divine masculine energy is coming in, what can we say for you who is in this divine energy? Ace of Wands. Wow. Okay, that's the second time. Right after the Queen of Wands. Whew. Follow your passions. Follow your passions. Also, this new beginning is a gift from Spirit. It is going to be exciting. It is going to be fiery. And then we get the Fool. New beginning. What did I just say? I love it when that happens. We speak on the energy and the cards appear. Yeah, so Ace of Wands and the Fool. You're going to have that passion with this divine masculine, let me tell you. It's going to be a whole other level. And I'm not just talking about in the bedroom, though. Yeah. Yeah. I'm talking about new creative projects, new adventures. For some of you, I'm picking up possible travel with this person. Like every day would be a new adventure. Judgment. This is an awakened love. This is a transformative love. This is also a huge change for your life. Some of you are really starting to see that. What else can we tell this King of Cups / Knight of Wands about this person? Nine of Wands. Two of Cups. Five of Pentacles. Okay. Some of you in this divine masculine energy are feeling a little wounded and weary about this union, and are coming from a lack mindset about it. That could be part of your fears. You know, it's possible, you know, they say with divine unions that if you'll end up dating a lot of karmic people that are like the shadow side of your ultimate divine match, okay? So it's like when you evolve to the status of being a divine being, masculine, feminine, or whatever, you are ready for this kind of union, because it's like even this person in their shadow, it's like the divine were preparing you for this person. Does that make sense? It's like them as their evolved self that's in balance with their shadow. It's not, while it may seem triggering, which helps you heal, it's not devastating like a karmic would be. Does that make sense? So it's like there may be certain parts of their personality that triggers you because it reminds you of your past, your wounds, where you have lacked in love, or your fears about what you could lack in love and what union means to you. But them being a divine being, they're going to be the evolved, healed version of that. And through that, you can ascend together further and continue to evolve together and have a solid foundation by transmuting the shadow through those healing processes with this connection. That is one of the blessings of a divine union. That is why it is rare for them to actually come together, is because it takes two extremely higher conscious energies to come together. And that's why people talk about divine timing, because it seems divinely orchestrated when these things happen, which is not every day. This is rare. So I kind of feel like I'm picking up on a side message for this King of Cups. I kind of feel like Spirit just tested you. What do I mean? I feel like your wounds were just tested with going into talking about this other Knight of Wands character, this person from the past, perhaps. Some healing and transmutation of, I don't want to say jealousy or insecurity, because you're a divine masculine. You've obviously been through this. You know, you're obviously emotionally intelligent as the King of Cups, right? Because that is one thing that the King of Cups rules, is emotional intelligence. But it seems like there's still a part of you, and it seems like it's something from your past, that is a little afraid of a union like this because it holds more risk, because it has more value. And while your mind might trick you into thinking that this is just going to be like the past, remember who this person is. This is a divine feminine. Okay? And if you weren't certain of that, and if you didn't see all your blessings, all four aces on the table, the red flags are only, it's Eight of Swords. It's all in your mind. It's a self-imposed prison, which puts you into a lack mindset, which makes you think that you are not worthy because of some kind of trigger that needs to be healed. You know, earlier we were talking about how you've seen what this person has gone through, and it's been very similar to your own experience, which means, I don't want to say you two could trauma bond, because that's not the right word. That's a very toxic thing that you do with people who haven't really healed their trauma. But it's more like there is a copacetic nature to the healing that can take place, because two souls that know how to transmute and heal and transform, because they are evolved, can actually heal each other. And you're not going to get stuck in the motions of repeating the past traumas. If anything, this person is going to see you for what you've gone through, and You know, the other side of a trauma bond is deep love. What do I mean? As a trauma bond is what happens when two damaged souls get together and get stuck up in the feelings and are always dumping about the past. Two evolved beings are not going to do that. They're going to see the pain in you and put the salve on, and then you're going to do it for them, and then you're going to move forward, and you're both going to feel more strong and confident together. That's the ideal of that higher union, right? And everything I'm speaking on is, it's going to be different for every one of your situations, right? Right. I think we're going to leave that right there as far as the tarot goes, because, you know, I hadn't planned on, of course, I never plan on what kind of reading I'm going to do. It's whatever spirit wants to talk about. And I feel like this is already in motion. Maybe it was just like one last thing to maybe cleanse and purify before you come forward with this offer. One-to-one on my timer. I'm going to do one quick psychic read on the Kim Cran's deck. Had the mountain on the bottom here, so like this obstacle, and then I pull the bridge. The bridge, be the bridge, cross the bridge, rainbow bridge here. Could be significant to some. The tear. Your emotions are the bridge to success, I just heard. And then the mystic. Go deep, go within. Be bold. Show who you really are. Show who you really are. Both of you, whichever side you resonate with in this union, you both are the bridge to each other's healing and diving into deeper mysteries of life, because this is a spiritual union. This is not a mundane union. The Judge. It's your choice, obviously. It's your choice. Well, that was an interesting accent trying to come through. Gnosis. You know. It's a deep inner knowing. You got Gnosis and the Mystic. You already know what you want to do. Both of you already know, otherwise you wouldn't be energetically coming together. Like, again, spirit will keep this kind of connection apart until it's ready, until it's been marinated damn well. Excuse my language, I'm trying not to curse. So, I mean, is there anything else we can say about this spirit, this shadow? I'm getting a download. If you have fallen in love with your own shadow because you are a divine being, and this person has integrated their shadow because they are also a divine being. It's about falling in love with each other's shadows, again, perhaps through the deep healing process of being the salve to each other's wounds. And not in a codependent way. No, this is totally an independent divine union. That's not what real, deep, true love is. It's a type of merging of souls without getting attached. It's a detached, pure love. What does that mean? It means that both shadow and light come together to create something new. The underworld. Yeah. For some of you, this is a deep, deep soul commitment that you have always yearned for. It's like there's this part of you that has been immersed into the fabric of your being, the most complex parts of yourself that are woven into your identity. This is part of your shadow, but by trying to bury your shadow in the underworld, you're not loving it. You're not totally in union with yourself either. And when you find a love that brings the shadow out of the basement, so to speak, but does it in a transformative, deep, loving way, well, guess what? You integrate your shadow. I feel like that's a message for the divine masculine, that when you fully accept this love and make your offer, you will totally find yourself. I just pulled the self card, and it's full of color and vibrancy, and the prayer underneath that. You prayed for this. You prayed for not only this kind of love, but this unity within yourself. I'm hearing for some of you, you prayed from one of your darkest moments for a love that would be kind to your shadow. Wow, that is not for everyone, but I just got chills. This is that love. And that person is going to feel that from you too. And this is only for people who are in balance and in a good state of mind, okay? This is not about karmic love. This is not about the past. This is new. It may be a past life soulmate that you've never met, but it's not from the past, okay? Not from this lifetime. Because the energies I've been picking up haven't actually met yet. At least not in person. So that's interesting. Very interesting. I was going to do a psychic read on the energies of the cards, but Spirit just wants me to keep going with this. So what else do we have here for the Divine Feminine? Apocalypsis. The Poet. The Bardo. I'm not sure what some of these cards represent, but I'm just going to go off of what my gut. I feel like this Divine Feminine, you have taken chaos and transmuted it after a certain death of some kind. You've learned to transmute your pain, and perhaps that's how you can contain a love like this. You are the self. You are the Divine Feminine. It's not to say that the Divine Masculine is the wound. No, no. No, that's not what I meant. Not at all. What does this Divine Masculine have to offer you, Divine Feminine? The energy changed, by the way. Kairos. Interesting. This card came up before. It has a very Greek energy. It also almost looks like an eagle eye. Eagle is higher perspective. It's also the higher octave of Scorpio, the Scorpion, and an evolved Scorpio. Scorpio rules transformation, death, rebirth. We've had a lot of that energy, and the King of Cups is a Scorpio. So I feel like this is an energy that supports that transformation, that transmutation, that creation from the shadow to the light that you do. I think this person is able to provide some kind of higher perspective or elevation to you. The unseen. Someone that can guide you in a sense. Not to say that they rule you or they make decisions for you, but they're compatible to unknown territory, which means this is somebody who can help you navigate life and all of the world's mysteries. Again, we had this deep spiritual mysticism and hidden knowledge with Gnosis and the Mystic card. And then the underworld, like going into the deep, the hidden, the threshold. Yeah, this is, and the vessel. Wow. This is for a small group of you, but some of you have a higher purpose with this person, and when you come together, you're going to activate your joint path, which is extremely evolved. Has to do with spiritual matters. Some of you are very powerful seers, mystics, healers, shamans, mediums. And I can see why a lot of negative energies would try to keep this apart, because it's like, if this is a fated union, which usually divine unions are in that sense, this is the beginning of a life that takes you fully into the trajectory of your purpose. Puts you in the position to hold that power, the offering. Yeah. Wow. And the heart. Oh, and chills. I'm speechless. The energy, just wow. Oh, okay. All right. Enough with the chills. Thank you, Spirit. I get it. Okay. Wow. This is the purest love. For those of you that are still here, that didn't get mad and go off on a tantrum and leave this video, well, claim this reading, because it's really for you. This divine love is for you. This offer of love, this offer of heart, this is like higher heart chakra. This is also a way that you can offer love and healing to the world. This union is going to bring profound change to the world. We had the World card come out twice earlier in the reading. It had a different significance there, of course, but I feel like for some of you, this union, when it comes together, for those of you that are on this timeline, that are committed to this timeline, that are both focused on your own individual paths, you're about to collide and create something that is going to possibly be seen by the world, or have a huge impact on the world. I don't know what that is for each and every one of you, but I'm sensing for some of you it has to do with your spiritual gifts. Destroyer and the Mask. Well, there you go. You're activators. Some of you are activators. Some of you are awakeners. Some of you are meant to show the world how to love by destroying the mask. How to destroy the ego in the best way. How to evolve past a simple man in the sense of man, human, right? This love is going to destroy some people's false identities, because it is going to be so pure and so magnificent, so mind-boggling that a thing like this actually exists, that people are going to lose their ish. We did pick up on that energy earlier as a possibility. So again, I will remind you to treasure this. I think if you're still here, you're not part of the other feminine energy that was second guessing anything. I feel like you know what this is and you're looking forward to it. Interesting. Dead end, but I pulled it in reverse. And the comic. That was a side message from Spirit that anybody who thinks they can stop your new beginning is hilarious. They're a clown. Laugh it off and just enjoy the moment. Yeah, the thread. For some of you, cut the cords with people from the past because they keep trying to reattach. Protect your energy. the gem. Remember how valuable you are, and don't ever let anybody dim your shine. The sword. Speak your truth. Keep your balance. Justice is coming. The warrior. Y'all are going to fight for each other. Nothing can stop you once you come together. All this negative energy from the past can't. The cave. Yeah, you're about to go deep. You're about to enter the most sacred, blessed part of your life. The orphan. You're gonna retrieve your inner child. You're going to heal the wounds of your inner child through this love. You will never feel abandoned again with this love. Yeah, the venom. It's going to suck the poison out of you. It is going to extract every fragment. Anything that you didn't heal on your own, that's what this love is going to do. The nectar. That's right. It's the sweetness. It is the life force. It is the simplest pleasure and the greatest joy. And you know what? On that note, I think that's where we're going to leave this. For those of you that are interested in some of the channeled energies that I wrote down over the last week, I will share those with you now. For the rest of you, thank you so much for coming. Again, drop a rose in the comments if you feel like this is your divine love and you want to claim it. For those of you that are just holding space and passing by, I appreciate it. You're welcome to hit the like button. Of course, you don't have to, but it does help the channel and the community grow. Yeah, so let's see here. Thank you so much. For those of you that are on your way out, have a wonderful rest of your day, and I wish you all luck on your journeys. All right, for everyone else, now these channel downloads could be, if any of them resonate with you, then it's a sign that this reading was definitely for you. You can also look up the different meanings of the different things. I'm not going to say everything because it's a whole sheet of different angel numbers, animals, but I will say that there are 2 songs that I channeled in. One song, I haven't heard this song since I was like a teenager or whatever. I'm an elder millennial, so and I don't typically listen to old rap and stuff like that. Every now and again a song will come on, I'll be like, oh yeah, shit, I remember that. Oh, again, excuse my language, I'm trying. But I woke up the other day to hearing victorious, and I was like, what the hell? So I looked it up, and it took me a while. I was like, I know this song. This is a rap song from the 90s. What the heck is this? And it was actually Notorious B.I.G., the self-titled song. It was from 1999, and the funny thing is, a couple days before that, I kept getting the angel number 1999. So look that up. It may be significant. So the notes I wrote here, it's from the album Born Again, which makes me think of reincarnation, the phoenix, rebirth, again, transformative energy. And then 1999 angel number is like the end of old cycles. Again, we were talking about the world card and a brand new timeline. And then over here, you are victorious. So that's confirmation for some of you that you are indeed victorious on this new timeline. And that also for those of you that this has to do with this union, now that I have done this reading, it's going to be victorious. As long as you continue to stay strong, pure-hearted, and always be grateful for your blessings, it's coming. It's coming with divine timing. So again, apply that how it fits, right? If you want, you can apply the timing cards we used earlier, depending on the pile you picked, and you can apply that as an afterthought of, well, maybe that's when it's going to manifest. But again, remember, if we attach to an idea, it can actually stall the timeline. So remember that. All right, so the second song, I channeled was Shania Twain's You're Still the One. And this song, I actually created a playlist on my Spotify. The link is in my description box if you want to check out my playlist. But it's called Channeled Songs. And this song has been haunting me off and on for like 4 or 5 months. And it makes me think of two things from back in the 90s. First of all, the show Dawson's Creek. I feel like that is relevant to somebody. The other thing is, it is one of the main songs from the soundtrack of Practical Magic, the movie. And that movie could be significant. I know it is to me. I love that movie. But I wrote a couple notes here just saying that it makes me think of like dream love coming in for someone in a magical connection. And then I referenced See the Divine Union reading from last time. So if that song resonates with you, look up the lyrics. It's really beautiful lyrics about a true love, of still loving somebody after all this time. And it's a beautiful sentiment. All right. So a few spirit animals you may want to look into is the cougar. For those of you that did not check out my blog in the last 10 days, I actually had a cougar walk up on me here in the mountain. It's one of the most terrifying spiritual experiences I've ever had. So if you want to read a riveting experience, check out my blog post from that, which will probably be the one before this one or the one before that. Anyways, so the cougar or mountain lion is very significant to somebody, or the puma, depending, or panther, whatever you call it. Also very relevant are doves, ravens, and hummingbirds, specifically. There were others, but I'm not going to go into all that. Now, the angel numbers, I only just started really charting all the angel numbers I get, because angel numbers for me as a psychic medium, I actually receive communication and I divine through angel numbers because I've been studying them for a handful of years. Spirit will send me messages through angel numbers. So if you ever feel called to look up an angel number, do, because there could be a message for you. Now, there's going to be multiple different interpretations of them if you go through like the images on Google or whatever. Pick the one that feels right, okay? And if you don't know what feels right, definitely do some work on your intuition and help strengthen that, okay? So here are, I don't know, I may read all these off. So if you don't want to hear all this, thank you again. Catch you on the next message. But I feel like it's important to read these off. So this is pretty much all of the numbers that kept coming up over the last 10 days specifically. All right, so here we go. Angel number 1144, 43, 143, 430, 443, 1222, 333, 303, 33, 555. The list goes on and on and on. 414, variations of 41. Variations of 33 and 55 and 66 again, also 44. Yeah, I'm not going to read all these, but the last few most recent would be 13, 13, 18, 18, 15, 15, 16, 16. So mirroring numbers as well. Also 22, 33. Those are all mastery numbers. So if any of those numbers call to you, it could be somebody's birthday, it could be a date, it could be a month and a day, it could be a year, it could be an age, it could be an anniversary, it could have some kind of other significance in your life, a sports team number, it could be an album number, it could be the amount of friends you have. I don't know. If it rings true, there's significance, then pay attention. And if you feel called to look up the angel numbers yet again, you could find more messages through that. All right, everyone, this is a long reading, and I really appreciate you being here. Check out the community blog to get updates. Of course, hit the notification bell, and you will be alerted when the shorter form videos hop online. Otherwise, I hope you have a wonderful solstice with Mabon if you're catching this in real life, real time, or a great eclipse. Many blessings to you. This is Ellie, signing off.